The PGA Tour has been the premier league for the biggest professional golf tour in North America, with all the biggest names in golf playing under their purview for generations, until the LIV Golf League came on board. Since then, the LIV Golf Series has been using its deep pockets to entice pro golfers with massive sign-up bonuses and other perks, and big names wasted no time switching allegiances. But with things currently falling apart, are some of the LIV players already thinking about leaving the tour? Stick around to find out. We all know the ugly legal battle between the LIV Golf and the PGA Tour, and things seem to be getting out of hand. The Saudi-backed tour recently released its 2023 touring calendar, which contains 25 events. These events are scheduled to be played across the world, from the United States to Britain to Thailand, and to the home of its sponsors, Saudi Arabia. Earlier this year, the LIV Golf and Public Investment Fund, Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund, partnered with the Asian Tour to unveil a $300 million international series. "We are on the threshold of a new era for Asian golf," said Cho Min Thant, CEO and Commissioner of the Asian Tour. The international series is a new upper tier of elite events, the likes of which the region has definitely not seen before. It also signifies the furthering of our relationship with our new strategic partner LIV Golf Investments and its CEO, Greg Norman. According to Greg Norman, the partnership is probably the biggest in golf history and assured that nobody will be left behind. Everyone stands to benefit: professional players, amateurs, grassroots golf, communities, stakeholders, fans, and economies. I'm so optimistic about the future of the sport. From the look of things, the International League doesn't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon, and right now some players might just be regretting their choice to join the series. For the upcoming 2023 season, LIV Golf expects all of its players to be featured in the $300 million International Series as well. The implication is that top LIV players will have no choice but to play 25 times next year. And if you think about it, it's around the same number that they would usually play on the PGA and DP World Tour. Also, there are 4 majors that most of these players will definitely want to play, making a total of 29 tournaments. Remember, there's also the European Tour, which some of them on tour will want to play in order to keep the European Tour card and maybe earn Ryder Cup points. With competitions everywhere, you can't help but wonder how players like Patrick Reed, who openly stated that he wanted to spend more time with his family and play less, will actually handle the situation. It wears on you as a person, wears on you as an athlete, as a father, and this is for me. This is literally the best decision ever. I can now compete at the highest level and still prepare and be ready for every event. At the same time, I'd be able to be home to spend time with the family. And I can hardly imagine how super excited DJ and Brooks are to be playing every other week in Asia. I'm not too sure how much time Reed and his colleagues are going to get while flying across the world to play LIV Tour golf. Anyway, there's a lot of golf for these folks, and with a lot of golf on the LIV comes a lot of money. But welcome to LIV, their cash, their rules. Some more changes to the player regulation of the LIV Golf League might not sit well with some players. At the end of the 2023 season, some of the lower performing players will be playing to stay on the tour, while the younger players will have the chance to be promoted to the LIV Tour. It sounds pretty interesting, but have you given a wild thought to what would happen to some other players who may end up regulated? They'd definitely be banned from the PGA and DP World Tour. And where would they go? They may not be completely homeless after all. There's the Asian Tour, which has links with the PIF Saudi International, but you really can't expect any player to be happy with it in the slightest. Take, for instance, Henrik Stenson or Phil Mickelson, who ends up regulated from the tour with no place to call home. A wild thought. As soon as the LIV Tour kicked off with its first event, the PGA Tour wasted no time banning all those players from playing the PGA Tour tournaments. The players were immediately notified a few moments after teeing off at the LIV inaugural event that they would no longer be able to play in PGA Tour events, including the President's Cup. Jay Monahan, the PGA Tour president, said that the players violated their tour's regulations and chose to turn their backs on the PGA. Those players made their choice based on their own financial-based decisions. However, they've lost the right to the same PGA Tour membership benefits, platforms, considerations, and opportunities as you, said Monahan in a statement to other players on the PGA. The American Ryder Cup captain, Zach Johnson, had stated that he would only pick American players playing on the PGA Tour. The DP World Tour, on the other hand, has been a bit different. Just like the PGA, the European Tour had tried to ban players, but it just didn't go as planned. The tour said golfers who played in the inaugural LIV event in England would be suspended from the Scottish Open, Barracuda Championship, and Barbasol Championship. All three of those games were co-sanctioned by the PGA and the European Tour. They were also fined $123,000. Their actions undermine the tour and are not fair to the majority of our membership, which is why we are taking the action we have announced today, said Keith Pelley, European Tour Chief Executive. But little did DP World Chief Executive Keith Pelley know that the LIV Golf Rebels weren't prepared to go down without a fight. Adrian Otaegi, along with fellow stars Ian Poulter and Justin Harding, wanted to play in the Scottish Open, so they appealed against their suspension by the tour, and they won the case. But winning the case didn't guarantee they'd be happy seeing him play it. Ian Poulter is an interesting case study because he is a LIV player, but has chosen to play the DP World Tour in August, and he got more than he bargained for. He claimed that in addition to being treated very differently from the other players, the DP Tour also denied him any footage that was freely available. I've always been committed to the European Tour. This tour has been my home for 24 years. That shouldn't have to change, said Poulter. Pelley, while speaking to the press, admitted his disappointment in the verdict, but warned of more consequences to come for the LIV Golf Rebels. No doubt we are disappointed by the outcome of today's proceeding, but will abide by the decision. It is important to remember that this is just a stay of the sanctions imposed, pending the hearing of the players' appeal as to whether those sanctions were appropriate, said Pelley. You can feel his utter disappointment, but as he said, it's just a stay, meaning the battle is far from over. These golfers still want to play on the European Tour and enjoy the benefits such as playing for the Ryder Cup places on the world ranking points, which affects major invites. In an effort to earn world ranking points for its players, the LIV partnered with MENA Tour, a third-tier circuit recognized by the official World Golf Rankings to administer points for its events since 2016. But the OWGR body was quick to release a not-so-fast message to the eager upstarts at LIV. The rules state that the players can only be ranked playing the 72-hole professional tournaments. LIV's no-cut 54-hole tournament is obviously very different from this and may not get the ruling. However, the body has said that after they complete the review, they will make a decision. For LIV, world ranking points are a significant piece of success and long-term stability at the professional golf level. Without earning any ranking points, players can hardly qualify for any of the 4 major championships. It stands to reason that any league's ability to attract younger talent is inextricably tied to its capacity to offer a pathway to the majors. It's not unbelievable that the league's CEO, Greg Norman, and the LIV enticed these players with a chunk of cash with the assurance that they didn't just have the money to spend on tours, but they had lawyers who'd handle everything. But apparently there are a whole lot of problems the money couldn't solve. With the regulation problem, fuller calendar, the potential ban from the other tours and major tournaments, and lack of world rankings, things are not looking too good for LIV golfers. Like the prodigal son, don't be surprised if they come back begging to play on the tour that they were once on. We'll see you in the next one.